What's up? You are watching Power Up. It's an acronym for playing, watching, and reading. And we are up to the watching component of all of these things where Trisha and I are going to tell you what we are currently watching and whether we want to recommend it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing to Geek Bum and to follow Trish on her Twitch channel. Hey there, Trisha. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? I'm excited to talk about watching because I feel like I've finally gotten a little bit more time to watch TV, so I have some more recommendations.
That's cool. To kick it off, though, we're going to get some What is Going Off with Amy Cassandra Martinez from Geek Bomb. Follow her along because she is into horror. Thank goodness, because I will not be. Just taking that one. Hey, darling, what is the news for watching?
I don't know about you guys, but I am a huge fan of Regina King, and she's in this show that a lot of you guys have heard of. It's called Watchmen. So HBO is making all 9 episodes of Watchmen free to watch on their site and free on demand from today. We're live today on June 19th, Juneteenth, all the way until Sunday. Today's Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, the 21st. First, as part of their offering to highlight Black experiences, voices, and storytellers. Now, this show is a sequel to the comics, but it also works as a sequel to the movie. I've seen the first episode, but I want to know if you guys have seen more. Right now is the time to watch it.
I did. I watched the whole thing.
You did?
Yep, watched the whole series. Loved it. Highly recommend.
I've heard nothing but good things. It is absolutely on my to-watch list. This, Doom Patrol. Gosh, what are some of the others? I remember there was a huge list. My thing is that I went back to the things that I love, and it's been so long that I've forgotten it, and I love remembering it, watching it. But Watchmen's definitely on my list. I already have. It's on HBO, yeah? I've already got that. Maybe not. Oh, I'm tagging onto an ex's account, so maybe I need to get on to that.
We'll see if you still have HBO.
I mean, it's free.
Well, I tell you what, Maude, if you don't still have HBO, let me know, because you were generous enough to share your Hulu with me. I will share my HBO with you.
Hey, yay, look at that.
And we won't break up, so it's cool.
Yes, good. Cool. I like that deal. I'll take care of you. You take care of me. But yeah, definitely want to watch Watchmen. But this time, actually, you start. What are you watching at the moment, Trish?
What am I currently watching?
Yeah.
Well, let me go ahead and switch off. Amy, thank you for being here and telling us about Watchmen.
We'll see you for Bums Away Q&A soon.
Yes, we will see you very soon. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I did not have that queued up yet.
If you want.
Transition music. And here we go. There we go. Okay. What is Trisha currently watching? Well, I am definitely watching Queer Eye Season 5. Because as we were talking about in the playing section this week, I think a lot of people just need something that makes them feel happy and positive and hopeful. And Maude, you mentioned that might be why a lot of people are playing or buying Animal Crossing. For me, that release is Queer Eye Season 5. I love it. It is full of feel good. We just want to help empower people to love their lives and be self-sufficient. And they're always wonderful stories. And everybody's just so kind. And especially since it's Pride Month, it's like perfect timing. But Queer Eye is definitely my, like, at the end of the day, especially when it's been a real rough day work-wise or news-wise or whatever. I'm like, you know what? I just want to sit down with a bowl of ice cream and watch Queer Eye. And it makes me so happy.
How many times have you cried?
Oh my God, so many.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you also watching?
I'm like, just like having the heaves. I haven't started 5 yet. But I think that's where I'm up to. But I actually find it's quite easy to binge. Like you just kind of watch 2, 3, 4 in a row. And you're like, oh, it just feels like a cuddle from mum, you know?
Yeah, it's wonderful. And season 5 takes place in Philly. So it's really fun for me because that's the area that I grew up in. So when they're like, oh, we're helping out this person in Fishtown. And then we're heading to I like know where all those places are. And, like, they're going to different restaurants and hair salons and stuff. And I'm like, oh, man, I bet that's in. Like, so it gets this extra layer. Plus, all of my relatives that live back home have that Philly accent. And I don't really ever get to hear it. So, like, unless I'm talking to somebody on the phone. So, it's been... What does it sound like? You know what? I can't even do a really great one unless I've been home for a little while or I've been talking to people. But there's some things in it that I still slip into when I go home, like the short A sound is bad and mad, not bad and mad.
Hold on, I can't hear the difference. What?
Like I'll be like, oh man, that's really bad.
Bad.
Yeah, so like it blew my mind in theater school when the teacher was like, bad and mad and sad and glad should all rhyme. Because I was like, what? Because in my mind, they totally did not. And like you'd say something was a pain in the ass. But then you're like, oh, it's supposed to be a pain in the ass? Oh, I'm so snooty, pain in the ass. Because you're used to saying it's a pain in the ass.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a different A sound. But I get very back into my Philly accent either when I've been home for a while or I'm tired or I'm drunk.
When I talked to my family, I was doing it last night. I had a nice big hour-long FaceTime with Mum and Dad. But I also stumbled across a bunch of old videos. And then in one in 14, sorry, so 6 years ago, I had created an Elder Scrolls Online character. And I was supposed to be a better looking version of myself. And I realized I made a character that looked exactly like Taylor Swift. Exactly. And I was like, oh, dear. So I did a video and I was like, look, I was just online. I was listening to that and I was like, is that what I used to sound like? So now I say online, but then I would say online. Yeah, I was just online. Yeah, it's like,
Yep, Philly is just a lazy mouth. Like a lot of stuff too gets shortened. Like instead of the Philadelphia Inquirer, you say the Philly Inquirer.
Philly Inquire.
Yeah, the Philly Inquirer. And I forget what else I said that Nate was making fun of me for last night because, one of the episodes is in Norristown, which is actually spelled Norristown, but for me it's Norristown.
They sound the same.
So one is Narstown and one is Norristown.
Right,
but they sound the same when you're talking fast because to me it sounds the same if you're just talking about Norristown.
Okay, I get it now. Yep.
So that's the Philly thing.
NARS is their makeup brand.
Yeah, that's the Philly thing. But anyway, Queer Eye is in Philly, 5th season, so good. Do yourself a favor. It's like giving yourself a big hug at the end of the day. It's really good. And on the opposite end of that spectrum, if you want to educate yourself, and it'll be a hard watch, but if you want to educate yourself, I think it's important that everybody should watch 13th, the documentary on Netflix. It's Ava DuVernay is the filmmaker, and it is so well done. And
is it DuVernay or DuVernay?
How do you say it? You probably know more than I do.
Ava DuVernay.
Ava DuVernay. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
DuVernay.
DuVernay. There we go. Maude is my go-to, like, hey, entertainment friend, how do I say this? So thank you. But yeah, it's really good. It's a rough watch, but it's really good, and I think everybody should watch it. So highly recommend. What are you watching, Maude?
I'm going back to my safe, happy place, and that is Alias, because J.J. Abrams made an amazing series, and this went on for 5 seasons, and Sydney Bristow is one of my favorite characters of all time, and it is super empowering as a woman because she kicks absolute ass, and the chemistry that she has with Michael Vartan, aka Vaughn, in the show is just amazing. He was in my dream last night.
Ooh, what kind of chemistry did he have in your dream?
I think he was a ghost. He was a ghost, and he would attract people that were studying necromancy.
Okay. That's cool.
Like, that's just a little idea of what happens in my head. Yeah.
I like it.
School or something, and he was a ghost, and everyone's like studying from him. But no one cares about dreams. Alias is fantastic. I'm already up to season 4. I have been powering through it. It's what I do every single night to wind down at the moment. So I'm looking for something afterwards because by end of next week, will probably have seen it all. But I just think it's brilliant writing in a show. I really, really dig it. Yeah. Yay.
I love when you find shows like that. One of the ones for me that I'm like, this show is written so well every time is The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes and no. I love
the writing on that show. I think it's so funny and witty.
a couple of the sub stories in 2 and 3. They've had 3 seasons, right? Second was Catskills, and then the third.
Yes, 3 seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of times. It's like the majority is really good. I still think the first season's the best. But then
the
every
first
now and then,
season's really good.
Where are we going with this? What's happening? Oh, that's right. The ex-husband opens a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not so you're not into the plot lines.
The main one, yes, but then like it kind of deviates with some particular stories and secondary characters, and that it feels a little like not thought out so well.
I did not get that impression, so we will agree to disagree. I thought it was very well done, and there were multiple times that my husband and I have to pause it and go, "Oh my god, the writing is so good on this show!" And there's not many shows that I watch that we have to like pause to take a let's talk about how awesome the writing is on this show. So
okay,
like it a lot.
What should I watch next? Oh, I already got it. Yeah, Watchmen.
There you go. Watchmen is the to watch next. I actually never got into Alias. I don't know anything about it. I never even tried. So maybe I'll give that a go if we have some free watching time this week.
I think this is like my 3rd time in 16 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like every like 5-6 years I'll watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. It hasn't dated either. It's so good. And it kind of gives me Perfect Dark vibes. I don't know if you ever played Perfect Dark on 64.
Yeah, I know Perfect Dark.
Yeah, it kind of gives me like Sydney Bristow is kind of like a Perfect Dark, but less sci-fi and oh no, there's a bit of alien-esque. Yeah, I've said too much.
All right, well,
Bombs Away.
Yeah, that's what Maude and I are watching. Let's get into Bombs Away.
Hi, darling.
Hi. So I will be getting a question from Twitch right now after I read this one. This one is from our Patreon, patreon.com/geekbomb. This one's from Cosmos System.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, if you had to choose a type of fiction world you would live in, what would it be? Post-apocalypse, dark fantasy, medieval, other?
Okay, so being a woman in the medieval times would just suck. So scratching that out real quick, unless you're noble born, but then you can still get kidnapped for the sake of your title and lands. But if you are under nobility, people just claim and take you. Like they just take, it's not a good time.
Not so much fun.
No. So what's dark fantasy? What can we explore that?
Dark fantasy is like Game of Thrones, I would say, or dark fantasy is like Dark Souls.
Oh, I thought dark fantasy would be like the fairies and the drow in, Men's and Bernsen.
I would say fairies and drow are more high fantasy.
That is true. Then I want to live in high fantasy.
What are the other options, Amy, that were in that?
Post-apocalyptic. Again, awful.
Yeah.
Showers don't happen. You'll never be clean again. All your wounds will get infected.
Is there like a cyberpunk future or some kind of sci-fi future where they have found a cure for everything that ails you and all of that?
There is now.
Thierry's saying it's like Carnival Row. So it's like...
Carnival Row is dark fantasy for sure. Like Lovecraftian is dark fantasy.
Okay. Yeah, all kind of suck to be a woman in pretty much all of those. So, cool. Thank you for reminding me why I watch Alias.
Hey. Well, okay, this next question's from Twitch.
Okay.
Catnip Ninja asks, what is something you watched that you thought was going to be amazing, but you were disappointed?
Netflix Lock and Key.
Disney Plus Artemis Fowl.
I haven't seen Artemis Fowl. Why does it suck?
I had to watch it for Fresh Daily, and everyone was saying how bad it was. I don't know the source material. I never read the book. But Kenneth Branagh isn't doing so well with the CGI-heavy storytelling. It could have been really interesting. Apparently, Artemis Fowl, this 12-year-old kid who's an absolute genius, goes into being a criminal mastermind. And we don't really see that, which is the most interesting plot. Judi Dench is wearing, she's supposed to be like the lead of the fairies. And the outfits that they put her in, I'm like, after seeing her in Cats and then seeing this, I'm like, how are you struggling paying bills? Why are you taking these jobs? And then Josh Gad plays this large dwarf mole man kind of thing where he burrows his way underground by extending his mouth and chewing through the dirt and shitting it out the back and blasting it out of his butthole. So that was a little bit too far, but there were moments with Josh Gad and Judi Dench talking together where they were both making the fun of the fact that they were talking like this the whole time. And I was like, at least they made fun of that because this is the most ridiculous movie.
I see people in chat saying they felt that way about Picard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people saying they felt that way about Picard. I haven't seen Picard yet, so I don't know, but there's a couple people hard agree on Picard. Oh, so sad. Another one that I felt that way about was The Dark Tower.
Oh, I never watched the movie because I heard so many bad things, but I had to read the book.
You've read the books, right?
Well, just the first one.
Well, if you finish the series of the books, you should definitely read all of the books before you try to watch the movie. Because the movie, and I know I've said this before, but I felt like the movie was like, let's take the worst part of all of the books and put it together in a movie. And what I mean by worst part is not like the worst things that happen to the characters or anything like that, but like the confusing, weird stuff that doesn't make any sense in the books. Let's only take that part and make a movie out of it. So like you watch the movie and you're like, why is this what they chose to focus on and not the other 90% of the book series, which is what's made it so popular? Like, it just blew my mind.
Can I also add to that Fantastic Beasts? Those two movies were absolute bloody rubbish. They were so bad. Don't center yourself around a character that doesn't even want to be the lead character, you know? Like,
what movie, Maude?
Spotlight. He's just like, I'm just a guy, I just want to do my job. And it's like, no, we're going to make you the lead of a big adventure. And he's like, please don't, I don't know if I'd like that. Here we go.
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Muppet Eddie Redmayne. Anyway, I think that it should have been the tale of a young Dumbledore and his love tryst with Grindelwald and how that came to be and why it turned.
Well, you know that's all why we're all watching Fantastic Beasts anyway, is to find out what happened with Grindelwald and Dumbledore.
I apologize for saying it, but we're all about that Dumble dick.
What? I am not about the Dumble D. Maybe it's fair to say some people are. I am not, though. Okay, there you go.
Anyway. Terrible movies. So bad.
All right, well, Amy, thank you for Bombs Away. Thank you for being here and getting the questions. You're an amazing human, and we'll see you soon. All right, Maude, that was a fun conversation about what we were watching, and reading is coming up next, so don't go anywhere.